Hello, this is Brian J signing on, and here I'm making a video talking about Wilson Cruz's comments. Him talking about the trolls and the YouTube channels on YouTube constantly criticizing Star Trek Discovery, saying it's going to get canceled, saying it's going to be meaning its demise, saying that the viewership and the ratings are down or whatever. You know, like Nerdrotic, Mecha Random, Midnight's Edge. And you know what? I do love those channels. Those channels have a lot of great videos. They have some good opinions. But don't take Nerdrotic seriously, because he keeps saying that Doctor Who's ratings are down. And then when you go on Nielsen ratings, you see that the ratings for the new Doctor Who season are up by 32%, which is great. And the 18 to 49 ratings are down, but the live viewers for BBC America for Doctor Who are up. So I don't know where he's getting that the ratings are down. I noticed that the new season of Doctor Who isn't that beloved among fans, but whatever. And I have my own issues with Star Trek Discovery. I'm not a huge fan of the show. I like it, but I don't love it. It might find its footing. It might get better by season 3. Well, you never know. But I'll say this. Wilson Cruz he's right about one thing, is that Midnight's Edge, sites like Midnight's Edge and Nerdrotic, they don't reveal their sources, and they don't make it seem like their sources are credible. They keep making these claims, and so far they're wrong about Star Trek Discovery. Yeah, Midnight's Edge was right about Ghostbusters 2016, and they're also right that sometimes when you get woke, you go broke, because people are turned off by agendas and politics. They just want to be entertained. They want to have fun. They want to escape. And Star Trek has always had social justice politics and issues being explored, but not in a way that's kind of negative or misanthropic on like Discovery in comparison to 90s Star Trek. That's just my opinion. But yeah, I mean, a lot of these sites, they're wrong right now. They're just wrong. Midnight's Edge is wrong. Nerdrotic is wrong. Mecha Random is wrong. And, you know, Mecha Random, like, she makes these rants and these videos where she comes across as a self-hating woman, and she does a lot of body shaming as well, which is kind of ridiculous. And I feel like she does that to appeal to these men who are, I mean, I'm not going to say they're alt-right sympathizers or anything, or that they're, you know, because Mecha Random is a part of the LGBTQ community. She supports them, but she says certain things and does certain things that will appeal to men who are not to the left or a little bit closer to the right, and they're like these, you know, socially awkward guys that don't like women, you know, or at least have some negative thoughts and feelings about women and people on the left, you know, that sort of thing. But you know, like, or, you know, it's just the way she says things and the way she talks, it does like a lot of signaling for those type of people, from what I can gather. Not all the time, but sometimes she does. So yeah, I mean, Wilson Cruz, he says it right here. I mean, like, don't take my word for it. Just look at how many things they've actually gotten right. And it's true. They haven't gotten a lot of things right, you know, recently, at least not with this show. You know, I mean, they were right about the Kelvin timeline falling apart. I mean, but they only started because Star Trek Beyond had flopped, but they only started saying that they were right after, you know, Chris Pine and Chris Hemsworth had walked away from the movie. They only started saying that after that was announced. So, but the problem with Star Trek Discovery is that they're just keep jumping the gun, you know. And they keep saying, like, Star Trek Discovery is a failure. I mean, look, CBS All Access is probably hemorrhaging money. They don't have a lot of subscribers. But the reason why they have 2.5 million subscribers is because of 2 shows. Okay, so maybe they have close to 3 million subscribers. I don't know. On CBS All Access. The reason why is because of 2 shows. Is because of The Good Fight and Star Trek Discovery. That's it. That is it. Okay? I mean, yeah, there are other shows that get some viewers here or there, but those are the 2 main shows. So, I mean, yeah, they're not going to get rid of their main show, their flagship show. And when it premieres, it creates a lot of buzz, you know. And, of course, football season helped as well with CBS All Access, but I mean, Star Trek Discovery, did fine. I mean, it seems to be doing okay. And then they say it's the least watched Star Trek show. Like, no, there are millions of people watching Star Trek Discovery all around the world, if you include Netflix. It was number one on streaming in Ireland, number one streaming in Scotland, number one streaming in the UK. Now, everywhere else, probably not so, because Star Trek is only beloved and popular, in North America and the UK, and parts of Western Europe. But overall, I mean, it's watched. It's one of the most watched Star Trek shows to date. Star Trek fans are watching it, and Star Trek fans don't universally hate it. Is it a little polarizing? Yeah, but that can also be said in the earlier years of Star Trek Next Generation and Deep Space Nine, and there are Star Trek fans who are old enough to remember that. They're old enough to remember how polarizing those shows were. So, my message to these YouTubers who I like watching, I love watching their videos. I talk to them. They seem to be nice people towards me, but they just really need to stop jumping the gun. Just talk about stuff after it's announced. Stop jumping the gun, and maybe Star Trek Discovery will get better. I mean, this new female showrunner has no science fiction credentials to her name, but maybe the show will start finding its footing in season 3. Maybe it will just get better. And stop shitting on Discovery fans. I mean, fans of Discovery gave the show a chance and they liked it. They enjoyed it. They didn't like how the Klingons looked and Klingon designs, but, it's not like these fans were hostile. It was the people who didn't like Discovery from the beginning that were hostile. And now everything is just kind of like this back and forth thing, among fans. But, it is what it is. And, yeah, Wilson Cruz, he's right to say what he says. He has every right to say this, and he's correct. These channels are just wrong. For the last month, they've been saying the show's going to be canceled before they even got to like episode 5 and 6. Well, we're on our way to episode 7, and a day before episode 7 premieres, they renewed it for a 3rd season. So it is what it is, and Wilson Cruz is correct. And Mecha Random and Nerdrotic, Midnight's Edge, and all these other channels, they're just wrong, And yep, those are my thoughts on this. So this is Brian J. signing off for now.